Oh, hey everyone, and welcome to season two of Vulnerability Time. Oh my gosh, y'all, we did it. We're thriving thanks to y'all and thanks to the special guests. Just to go ahead and restate this, because it is truly an honor. Thank God, it's truly an honor that because of y'all, this podcast is the top 14% most followed podcast, and it is the top 30% most shared podcast globally. So I want to thank y'all so much from Botswana, Switzerland, Canada, UK, Brazil, Czech Republic, Nigeria. There's so many. There's so many. I want to thank y'all so much. But yes, welcome to season two. So, our special guest today is Marley, and we'll be discussing the topics of working through grief, taking time for yourself, and entering into the real world. Like, what does that look like? But before we get started on that, Marley, how long have we been waiting to have you on this podcast?
I think we've been waiting like
It's been a good
a
minute.
solid 6 months.
6 months, folks.
Well, it's been insane. It's
It's
just
finally here.
it's here. It's here.
Yes. Y'all, it's been a pleasure just from the little bit of time that I've known Marley. She's a queen. She's a queen. But she knows that already. Marley, you just graduated. Tell us a little.
I did just graduate.
What was your
Yeah.
degree in?
Okay. So I got a degree of science in nutrition because for the longest time I wanted to be a dietitian. And I was like, I want to do this. I want to do this. I want to work at a big hospital, blah, 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 blah. But then I got to my end of junior year
Mhm.
and was like, no, this
Right.
is not going to be the thing. But like, I can go back to my mom and say, hey, mom, we're switching again. And this time we're going to have to take classes that we have like that are not even relevant to what we've been taking. So that
Mhm.
was definitely not going to happen. So yeah. So we graduated with a bachelor's in nutrition,
Yes.
but
A lot of good
but
nutrients.
I recently just got a job at a law firm, and I'm really really liking it.
Ooh.
Like I'm just kind of discovering like a new path that like I didn't really know that I would like think that I would like.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
honestly, when doors are open, oh they're wide open. They're wide open for
Yes.
sure.
That's what's
But yeah, that's
beautiful
kind of where
about
we're
it.
at.
Yeah, seriously, because it's like, we're expected to, from high school, we're expected to, know what degree we want and know exactly
Oh
what we
yeah.
want to do in life. And I was like, we haven't even lived half of like 50.
It,
Like
literally, like, how
half.
am I supposed to know at 18 what I want to do till I'm like 50? Like, that's just
Right.
not, like, no. And like, our brains change literally so many times.
Yeah,
So, why? No, it just wasn't for me.
exactly. And that's something that what and I don't know if it's meant to be like this, if this was intentional, but like I've noticed that like with when it comes to like schooling system, and I love our schooling system, don't get me wrong. However, it seems like we're supposed to there's only one way to do something. And if
Right.
we don't do
Absolutely.
that way, we fail and our grade is impacted by that.
Oh,
Therefore,
no.
our worth,
Yeah.
because it's like we're our grade, we're our GPA, even though that's not true. So I just feel like it kind of restricts our curiosity from the start, in that we're supposed
Yes.
to have to do something one way, only one way, and never steer from that. But that's not like reality. That's not like it's. Does that make sense?
Yes, no, absolutely, 1,000%. One of the best things that I've heard in a while, whenever because I was kind of going through because I was a student worker at
Hmm.
Lamar, where I graduated from,
Lamar
and
University, correct?
yes, Lamar University. I was a student worker there, and I you can only work there obviously when you're a student. So my time was coming up at like November. So this month, or no, last month would have been like my last month. And
Hmm.
so um I was like, I have to get a big kid job. And like I didn't want to be a dietitian anymore.
Hmm.
So I wasn't gonna do any like internships or whatever. But I was like, okay, I need to get a big kid job. And I called my sister and I was like crying. I was like, I have no idea what I want to do. I feel like I wasted mom and dad's money. I feel like I have no idea what I want to do. Everybody is getting internships, moving off, Dallas, Austin, you name it. And I
Hmm.
still don't know what I want to do. And
Right.
the best thing that she told me, she said, just get a job.
Mm.
Just get a job. And you find out what you're gonna like. And like you'll
Right.
find out things where, oh, I don't like this job, or I this is not for me, like blah blah blah.
Right.
And
Right.
so I found a job, and like, for the longest time I was like, I never thought I would like doing law firm type things at all.
Right.
But you know what? I'm like there and
And you
I
like
like
it.
dig it. I dig it. And I'm
And
just
that's what's
like,
beautiful about it, Marley, is because like when I graduated Lamar, um
oh,
in
twins, one of my twins.
twins, yes. In December 2020, I remember like for like a week straight, I had a whole breakdown because I was like, I don't know what I want to do, you know, and like one of our topics, like entering into the real world, you know what I mean?
Oh my gosh,
Um,
yes.
Whether that's like after college or after high school for some folks, just whatever that looks like, entering in the real world. Um, I was scared, and then I realized, I think God taught me this. I think God taught me this, that
Oh yeah.
you know if you it's okay to try. It's okay to try. Get a job, see if you like, and if you don't, now you know. But you won't know until you know.
You literally 1,000%. Like,
Yeah.
and also I was in therapy the other day, and I
We
was
love
telling,
therapy.
we love therapy, therapy queens, 1,000%. I was in therapy the other day, and I straight up told her, because like, let's be honest, no, right, fresh out of college person is more than likely going to stay with the first job they get for like
Right.
the rest of their life.
Hmm.
And I was just telling her, I was like, I don't know if what I want to do. Like, I don't know if I want to like stay here, if I want to quit. Like, I don't know.
Hmm.
And because there's obviously stuff with my job that I love, and there's
Right.
stuff right now that I don't particularly like.
Right.
Well, and I was just like, well, I don't know what to do. Like, I just kind of feel held back a little bit. And she told me, she goes, this is like a placeholder for you. And the job doesn't own you. It's fulfilling a need that you need right now.
Hmm.
And if you find something better like down the road, then by golly, take it. Like, you know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like, and
Right.
it doesn't necessarily define, it doesn't define like you, like, it doesn't determine your whole entire career.
Right.
And
Right.
so, and honestly, I think that's the best way to find out like what you want is
Yeah.
is to just try something different.
Try.
Because if you would have asked me like 5 months ago, oh, you're gonna be working at a law firm. No, I'm not. Like, no, I'm not. That's boring. I don't want to do that.
Right.
And I love it. And so I just think
Yeah.
it's all, you have to be open to try different things.
Right. Right. And that's very encouraging. Um, encouraging.
Mhm.
No, this is vulnerability time. I think the word encouraging sounds funnier. Encouraging. Like, where'd all the
Encouraging.
letters go?
Encouraging.
Encouraging.
Wordle of the day.
Love that. But there could be someone listening right now that's looking for a sign to just, step out. If you're afraid, do it afraid. Do it afraid. Step out and try,
Like, do
because
it.
it could be the best thing that you could thank yourself. Now, though it can also be, your fear could be justified. Let's be honest. You know, the glass is half empty and half full. How are we going to
100%.
find out if it's half full, if we don't try? And it doesn't have to be immediately. But it's okay to try something new, because it's like, we are worth, finding stuff that we enjoy. This earth
No,
has
yeah,
too much stress to begin with. It's okay to not stay in life. This is what I'm learning from you. Your
right.
story is that it's okay to not stay. It's okay to try. Sometimes veering off isn't a bad thing.
What's the saying? It goes like, and this was like not, it's not off topic, but it's like not on topic. What's it like? It's like your employer's like drug to you is the
Mm-hmm.
salary. Like, don't, you have to find like what you want to do regardless
Mm-hmm.
of the money or something like that. It's
Right.
like the drug that they give you is like your paycheck, but it's not, might not necessarily be something you want to do.
Right.
And
Right.
so I thought that was like pretty cool because I was like, literally just do what like makes you happy.
Yeah.
Like it, like, yeah. I just thought
Yeah.
that that quote, I saw it on TikTok. LOL.
And, and one day, like, look, like, one day, after I, learn and explore and, just find things out and find, like, just life in general, this whole definition of, like, as I learn and define the definition of stepping into the
Yeah.
real world, I would, it would, I'm childish. I'm about to be childish. Nick Jonas being my sugar daddy is a goal. He can be that. The world
Chris
knows that.
Evans being my sugar daddy is the
Yes.
ultimate goal.
Because the
So
world knows
believe
that
in your
that is our
dreams.
husband.
Believe in your dreams and manifest it, and it will come true.
Exactly. Exactly. That is one of my veering off things, just trying something different. Nick Jonas being my sugar daddy, and, Chris Evans being, we're just going to have to fight over Chris Evans
No,
because
Chris Evans isn't my sugar daddy. Chris Evans is my husband.
I
Okay.
love that.
Period, queen. Thank you very much. Mic
You're like,
drop.
get it
There's no
correct.
sugar daddy.
Oh, I
There's,
love
it's
that.
called marriage.
You know what? Okay, Chris Pratt can be my sugar daddy. I don't even like him that much, but I like his name. But Nick Jonas is husband. There we go.
Okay, so yeah, so husband, sugar daddy,
You gotta have
side
multiple.
boo.
Oh,
Yeah, huh? You got side boo or something like that.
you gotta have your backup plans.
You
Exactly.
do have to have some plans. Like it's not, yeah, no, like no. Okay, Chris Evans marriage, Charlie
You're a
Puth
mess.
side. Chris Evans marriage, Charlie Puth side boo. And then I've been watching The White Lotus, and I'm like obsessed with Lucas Gage. So he's
Hmm.
definitely like the sugar daddy, one thousand
What's
percent.
that show that it's like really popular on Netflix? And it's like, is it Bridgerton?
I mean, like probably. There's like a. I thought you, if you would have said like Wednesday, I would have said yes.
I'm whatever that show is, it has this prince in it, and everyone's like
Oh,
dying over
Bridgerton.
him.
Bridgerton.
Yes, and whoever his name is, whoever that is, I think I've seen literally like 12 minutes of the show. But whoever that is my husband as well. I have about
Okay,
800
fair.
husbands.
That's okay.
Yes.
We love
Yeah,
options.
as long as we know that they are our husband, that's what matters.
Well, actually, okay, so I'm saying this on a podcast, so technically he's out there in the world, so everybody like better back off right now. And I don't really care if like he actually has a physical girlfriend; they're gonna not work out, and it's gonna be me. Thank you.
Manifest.
I'm literally manifesting. I'm manifesting a breakup. I shouldn't say that though, because karma's real. Karma is my boyfriend.
Oh, oh yeah. Oh, karma. Yep.
Karma.
Karma, yep. Hmm. But
Karma is winding my hair on the weekends.
oh yes, natural.
1,000%. 1,000% Taylor Swift quote.
Okay, so Queen, I was loving what you were saying earlier about like stepping into the real world, like your example of it. So what else does that like mean to you of like what navigated like what enticed you to that topic?
Um. Well, I think recently. Okay, so thank gosh this is called vulnerability time because like let's just be vulnerable.
Yes.
So two in 2020 June 2021, my dad passed away like very, very unexpectedly. And that kind of causes you to grow up. Like that makes you age. Like, and whoever is listening and has dealt with like
Mm.
unexpected grief, you kind of like age like
Mm-hmm.
5 years and like or however much because
Yeah.
it's just a lot on you. It's a lot like on your psyche,
Especially if
like
it's sudden.
whatever you call it.
Yeah.
And so I kind of so I had to kind of learn first of all how to be like a different human being because like you
Mm-hmm.
don't have like one of your parents there. And then I literally just I'm done with college and
Mm-hmm.
like it and like you're like it's time like when you see like in the movies you're like, oh well they moved out, they got their own apartment, oh that's so cool as you watch that on your like mom's couch, but now like
Mm-hmm.
that's like you
Yeah.
and you have to put the dishes away, you have to take out the trash, like you have to do all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so and also I think and it's also just really hard just like navigating doing all this stuff like the first time.
Mm-hmm.
So where I was going with that, I I moved out of my mom's house, not like anything bad at all. It's just like I was ready to just like kind of be on my own. I had like the funds, like the job to do so.
Right.
So I was like, why not just try it? Because I wanted to eventually I would like to move like to the Houston area.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want to like get some practice, like because I didn't go away to college. Like Lamar is very close to like my hometown,
Mm-hmm.
and like my family is like all around. So I thought I should like try living on my own locally before I like moved an hour away and was like
Mm-hmm.
scared like mom come get me like at 2 a.m. like whatever. And so the first like I mean what is it? The first like week was so hard for me, like
Mm-hmm.
living on my own, like being like an actual adult.
Right. Right.
But honestly, it just comes like a day at a time
Mm-hmm.
and it gets easier. And like I know that you live like on your own or whatever. And like it does get easier. But at
It
first
does.
it's really, really sad and it's really, really scary.
Yeah.
And
Stressful.
but no, and I just think like not enough people talk about I don't think enough people talk about how to live post grad
Mm-hmm.
or like
Right.
or how to live like your first time or
Right.
whatever. Like it's like, oh, it'll work out, the kinks will work out, or it's just a part of life. No one really tells you like how to do it. And
Right.
so and like I just wish that there would be a lot more like informative like topics about that. Just like the you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like if that makes I mean that's probably like asking for a lot, but like
No, but it's like it's asking for, more clarity and honesty, because it's
yes, I
like,
feel like so many people are like lost and they're like, I don't know
yeah,
what to do. Like I don't know.
it's like
And it's
sounds all glamour and glitz, like, oh, moving out on my own, like you said, like in the movies, oh, moving out on my own, just graduated now on myself, by myself, or I just turned 18. Oh, yep, now got my
I'm
own place.
adult, like no.
Right. Like no one talks about like the feelings of isolation or the feelings of loneliness that come with that. The feelings of fear and stress and feeling like you have to start over. I
I
never heard that until I experienced it and I heard it for myself.
I remember and granted, I I have a good relationship with my mom. Like she helps me with like whatever I need, but like I
Hmm.
wanted to do this like on my own.
Yeah.
And I remember calling her because I didn't even have clips to clip like my chips on.
Hmm.
And I broke down in tears because I went, I can't even have chips. I don't even have anything to keep them fresh. And like, 'cause it's always been in mom's house. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's always just in the cabinet. And I remember that was one of the biggest like things. I was like, "Are you joking me? I can't even like have a chip clip. Are you
Yeah.
like this is ridiculous?" And so it was like small things that impacted me the most. That was like, "Whoa,
Right.
this crap's hard." Like it,
Yeah.
yeah, I know, and like it's just a lot.
Right.
And I don't know. That was kind of a little off topic, but
No,
I just
it's a podcast. We
uh,
conversate. Things get
we
off topic.
conversate.
We just
Yes, of
talked about
course.
Nick Jonas being
We did
my
talk about Nick
husband
Jonas and
and
Chris Evans.
Christian.
Yes.
Yeah, anything can
Um,
happen.
but no, I do wish that people gave more advice
Yeah.
about like, uh what's the word? Like just living on your own and like
Yeah.
just being like just like, post grad and just doing it all for the first time by yourself because it's hard.
It's
It's
hard.
like it's really hard.
And it's
But
like
it gets better.
it
It
does.
does.
And it's like obviously we're gonna have to, figure out things on our own slowly. But it's kind of like we're going in blind, and I feel like, if folks would talk about it a little bit more about the reality, we don't need to we wouldn't be going as blind.
Right.
Because I mean, it can just hit you like a brick wall.
Oh,
A brick
literally
ain't
a
even the
thousand
word.
percent. Like, because you're just kind of like, you get in there and you're like, okay, college is done. I have my own place, blah, blah, blah. And it's just kind of like a now what type thing. Like,
Right.
now what? Like, it was just it was very just eye opening and just very, just like, okay, it's time to
Right.
grow up now. It's
Right.
time, and we got to do it. Everyone. And another thing I keep telling myself, everyone has to do it eventually. So you're not going to be the only person you're not the only person to ever
Right.
like do this. But yeah, like everyone has to do it, but just not like, I don't know. And so that
I
kind of
see
helps
what
me
you
through a
mean.
little bit. Yeah.
And speaking of like adulting and making things, and just growing up, grief can do that as well, like you
Hmm.
had mentioned. Did you want to mention a little bit about, working through grief?
Yeah, of course. So like I said earlier, my dad passed away almost 2 years ago.
Hmm.
And I I mean, the one thing I do want to say, grief is so different for everyone.
Hmm. Hmm.
And
Hmm.
like nobody ever experiences it the same.
Right.
Cause like, let's just be honest, I make jokes about it because
Hmm.
that's who like my dad was. Like
Hmm.
my dad was very much a jokester,
Hmm.
like laugh about it, don't cry about it type guy, like,
Hmm.
you know. And so that's the way personally I get through it is because like I feel like I'm doing kind of like an honor to him because like why would I sit around and cry about it and like not live my life? For the longest time, I kind of didn't want to like live my life because it's like, okay, well, I don't want to because my dad's not here.
Right.
And like it kind of just takes away like literally a whole part of yourself
Hmm.
because again, no matter, and someone also told me this, whether you like know someone you like love, family member is dying, like, oh, they have like 5 months
Hmm.
versus very, very unexpected,
Right.
it still hits you the same way.
Right.
Like
Right.
there's no like, oh, this hurt way less.
Right.
Because it still happens. And
Right.
so um at first I was low for a very long time. I would say about maybe like 3 or so months
Hmm.
that I didn't do anything. Like I just you can't. Like it's just
Right.
consuming. And I remember I went out with my friends one day and it was my first like outing. And this girl came up to me and she like kind of heard what happened. And she wasn't saying it intentionally to be mean, but she just like straight up bluntly in front of at everyone at a bar. Just was like, oh, like what happened? Like what blah blah blah. And I was like, it like very much shook me. I was like, okay, this is why I'm not going out. Blah blah blah. I don't want to deal with this, whatever. And
Right.
so then one of my friends pulled me to the side and she was like, I know that that was like incredibly hard, but that's just life. And like you can't like people aren't gonna know like what to like not say, what to sugarcoat, like whatever. And so I just kind of like realized in that moment, I was like, that's just part of life.
Hmm.
You can't like you have to keep moving forward. And that's not what any loved one who has passed away, but no loved one that's passed away would want their loved one still here to be sad and like lonely
Hmm.
24/7. That's
Right.
not living.
Right.
And so,
But it
but
does
I,
take time, would you say?
oh, it takes so much time. It
Yeah.
takes so much time because like first of all, God plays a big role in it. And I'm telling you, this about, I'd say about 2 weeks after my dad passed away, my aunt and uncle dragged me to 8 o'clock, 8:30 service.
Hmm.
Number one, I wasn't
A.M.
a.m.
Oh shit.
a.m. And
I'm
I
not a
looked
fan of
at her. I
AM.
said, I said two things. I said, Tracy, I'm tired and I don't want to get up at 6.
Mm,
But number two, I don't know if I'm ready to go back yet. And I was never mad at God.
mhm.
Never, ever was mad at God, and I never will be. But it's still hard to like go to
Right.
church after something like that happens.
Right.
And she was like, just go. I really, really think like you're supposed to go today. And I was like, okay, that's fine. And so I went and literally I think, but this was so long ago, but like the message was like, no matter how far away you think that you feel, or how far away that, like, or how sad you are, or whatever, like, God's still near you. And I
Mhm.
was like, oh, like it was very much a, hey, you're
Right.
supposed to be here type thing, and like, you're going to be okay. And and I just kind of ever since then there have been challenging times, but it's been hard. But
Right.
you just gotta keep going, and it gets easier.
Hmm.
And there's like another. I'm really into like sayings tonight, like quotes and whatnot.
Yay, we
I
love a
love
good
that.
statements.
The saying where it goes like your trauma or like your pain is in like a bubble, and like your trauma and pain's like a dot and it's inside like a box.
Mhm.
The and you're sad like 24/7 because your bubble is pressing on the corners of the box. The the um the loss doesn't go away, like, but the bubble gets bigger, and it like you have it, not everything is going to make you sad. And so
Mhm.
it just gets bigger over time, and not everything is going to like trigger you 24/7, or it's like you're not going to have a breakdown 24/7, but one day you might hit that wall. And it's okay to like have like it's
Yeah.
okay to ride the wave and cry and
Yeah.
everything,
And
but
and
that's
I like how
healthy.
you said, like, over time, because that's the thing, like, we gotta allow our body to, in order to heal, you have to feel. You gotta allow your body
Oh,
to
that was
to
good. That
yeah,
was
you gotta allow your body to grieve, and that's the beautiful thing about grieving. Well, I don't want to say, well, I, I don't know. Sometimes it can be like, yeah, it's beautiful, but no, not in the moment. Actually, I disagree with that statement. But
right.
like, so
It's beautiful in different
yeah,
ways.
there you go. Because it's
Different
like,
ways.
yeah, there are those steps to grieving, but what
Yeah.
folks don't, like, I didn't know this until recently, that, it's normal for you to experience the steps out of order, and to experience, oh, one day this, and this, and then the next day it's something completely different. It's like, it is part of the grief. It's moving forward,
Yes. It's yes.
regardless of the hurt. And another also awesome thing is that grieving can look like many things. Like, it can look like, it's basically a disconnect or a loss from something that you have. Like, for example, like
Yeah.
moving to a different city and not knowing anybody, you know, a breakup, losing a loved one, you know, and that's what's huge about it. So, I mean, I like what you were saying, you know, about like over time. Like that is huge. That's huge. You know what I mean? Like it's okay to be
Yeah.
in that moment. Allow yourself to feel so that you can heal. So
I love that. Well, you have to feel to heal.
yes, that's literally how the
That's
body works. Also, like
Oh,
literally.
literally, the body has like trauma memory
Hmm.
because,
Oh
like,
yeah.
there are so many days where, so like, my dad died on the first,
Hmm.
and every like month, and like, it's like either the first, second, through the or the third, I am always in the grouchiest mood,
Yeah.
and I won't even know it. And I'm just like, what is wrong with me? Like, everybody is so annoying today, like,
Hmm.
whatever. And my mom's like, look at the calendar. And I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
there we go.
And that's
Body's
what's
really,
really
yeah,
interesting is like, you know, like you said, like you experience that, you know, often as like a trigger because like this nervous system doesn't have a sense of time in the aspect of like, did this happen today? Did this happen tomorrow? Like the event could have been happened. It's like the nervous system. It's
right.
gonna pick up a trigger, and that's something that you had you had touched up on. I don't know if you know it or not, but like Marley, you're doing literally amazing. Like this is all inspiring what you're saying. And another
Oh,
thingy is, you know, grieving when your body and your mind is feeling that turmoil. It's also your body trying to love you enough to heal. Um,
that's good.
yeah, it's so
That's good.
true, you know. But like, yeah, folks, like the nervous system does not have it has no sense of time. Like that is a huge reason why, you know, like the nervous system has a memory, believe it or not. The nervous system in the brain, it does not forget. It's we may forget, but it does not forget. And so, you know, but it doesn't always know how to properly
People
move on.
people underestimate how powerful the subconscious actually
Oh my
is.
God, yes, it's enormously
Like, can we
powerful.
just like talk about it? Because like it's actually embarrassing because it's like I was not thinking about this, and then you're like, it's actually like, yes, you are. You just like weren't thinking about it. And I'm like, okay. Like it's just so annoying. And but no, it's my therapist told me that, and I was like, you know, I think you're right. I think you went to school, and I think you're correct on this topic.
Mm,
And it was like, I don't know. Therapy is for everybody, and I really
yeah.
recommend it. Oh, and go to therapy.
Yes,
Go
I was
to
just about to
therapy.
say that. Yeah.
Like okay, I
It's a trip.
cannot
Yeah.
honestly, that's my biggest recommendation is go to therapy
Yeah.
because you can you can cry about it to yourself all
Mhm.
day long.
Right.
But unless I am physically talking to somebody and like
Yeah.
I can get it out of my system, like purging it,
Right.
um, and like someone is literally there being paid to listen to me and saying it's okay to cry and it's
Right.
okay to say
It's
exact.
nice to hear it, and
Oh,
you
it's
know,
so validating
yeah,
and like, but therapy really honestly
yeah,
did save my life.
and
Truly.
that's what I'm thinking is like. I mean, that's what like I say a lot is that like, and I love how you said like therapy has saved your life. Yeah, like this is the thing because like the body, though, even when it hurts, it's trying its best to love us, but it always doesn't know how to in the best way or just in general. So it's doing what the best it knows, and that's why we have to add, you know, treatment and intervention of some kind. For example, therapy to help guide the body in like, okay, this is how we can process it better because regardless if we're knowing it or not, from the moment that we're born, our body is internalizing and externalizing everything in order to best survive. And so therapy is a great way to, better internalize and externalize, because you're getting that external feedback, that external support, but you're also, showing your body that, hey, we're not only are we processing this, but we're also externalizing what we're
Yeah.
internalizing, if
Yeah.
that
And
makes
like
sense.
it also takes a lot of pressure off having to figure it out yourself,
Yeah.
because it's okay to like not, it's okay to not
It's okay to
know.
not do it on your own. We were not meant to
It's
do it on
so,
our own.
you're not supposed to. Like
Right.
it's like, but like I mean, literally, like, but people can have like they want to be like perfectionists. They don't want to ask for help, and like I
Right.
totally get it. Like I totally
Right. Because
understand.
it's hard to ask for
It's
help. W-
it's so difficult
Yeah,
because
we're
it's
in a
like,
society
hey,
that just says, do it on your own. You can do
oh
it.
no,
It's
and
not.
like I do have to say though, I do think now when I was grown, like when I say growing up, I'm 23, but like when I
I can't even put my chapstick on correctly because of you.
I'm so sorry, everybody.
No, it's
This is how
hilarious.
we talk. Okay. Um, I say growing up. When I was in like high school, therapy like wasn't really like as normalized as it is
Right.
now. I would say normalized. So I was in high school back in like 2015 through like 2018, you know what I mean? Like whatever the math is. And no one really, because TikTok wasn't around and like it wasn't like, oh, men should say their feelings.
Yeah, it
Like
was
it was still like, it was
it's
very
the
still stigmatized back
stigmatized.
then. And I was
Yeah.
like, and I never went. And so I had gone previously because that's how I got like diagnosed with like anxiety. But that's
Yeah.
like I never went to just talk.
Right.
And I remember like the first time I went, I was like, I'm going to tell you this, but don't tell my mom. And she looked at me and she went, I can't. I can't tell your mom. And I went, what do you mean? And she was like, this is a conversation is between you and me. And it's okay to say exactly what you feel.
Right.
And girl, I let it all out. I was like, I said, okay,
Yeah.
let's go. And ever since then, it's great.
Yeah.
Totally.
That's
I say growing up like
see.
I was in like the freaking
Yeah.
1980s. No, 2080s.
This is a thing as well. But I'm loving your insight, Queen. Um, when it comes, therapy, if someone there could be someone listening right now that, you know, is struggling to go to therapy, because they're, fighting that stigma, or the perfectionist. I've been there, okay? Still there every now and then.
Okay, cool.
I just see this as a sign, because like it's not always going to be as easy as just going to therapy. Like Marley was saying, it can take something super hard. It's just not easy all the time. Um, and so perhaps this is a sign to someone to go to therapy. And if someone is wanting to go to therapy and, there aren't resources or it's not affordable, um, they can reach out to me on my Instagram DM and I can help them find, affordable or free resources of therapy. I want to mention that there's got to be someone listening,
Oh
even if
yeah.
it's 20 years from now, that Marley, by the way, you're helping inspire people forever now that this
I I
episode is
hope
out.
so. I also like I hope
Queen.
people know that if they're like hesitant on going, there are people, therapists go to school for a reason and they want to help other humans. So it's not like people know that it's a necessity.
Yeah.
And if people are going to school for it to want to help other people,
Hmm.
then it's not a bad thing. I know it might seem like a bad thing.
Yeah.
And you're not crazy and you're
Right.
not going to go into a mental institution, like
Right.
nothing.
Right.
But people want to do it and it's there.
Yeah.
So I really hope you go. Whoever's listening, I hope you go.
Yes. Go.
Just talk about your day. It doesn't have to be sad. Just like
Right.
talk about your day.
And therapy is great to just like, you know, learning yourself, learning your subconscious, whether that's like subconscious biases or just
Yeah.
why do I why is it when I look at the color green, it just makes me cringe? Or you know, like for me, it can
I
be
feel that way when I
something
look at the color orange.
ill, yeah, same, yeah, gross. Or
I
like
don't like
lime
orange.
green. Lime,
Ew.
yeah, I'm like, that's disgusting. Come on now.
Orange
But
is disgusting.
it, the thing, you know, it can even be something like, for example, like I always never liked vegetables, okay? But for some reason, when it comes to
What?
peas, I know I hate veg. I love fruits though, but I hate vegetables. Too, it tastes
Why
too
don't we like
earthy and
vegetables?
greeny. But
Earthy?
yeah, it tastes too earthy and greeny. I just feel like I taste the whole world, and it's not a fan. But
My God,
the
you're
thing
not
is
washing your
like
vegetables.
when it comes to peas, um, I I literally physically can't eat them because I'll either gag or throw up. And why is that? Because that wasn't always the case, but it's because I was forced so many times to eat
Oh,
peas, you know, and
yes.
yeah, I was forced so many times, and my body did have a reaction to it. It wasn't gagging or throwing up, but I was never listened to when I said, I
I don't
literally
want.
don't feel good eating this, you know, as opposed to broccoli, I just didn't want to eat it. Um,
Right.
but there was no type of, you know, reaction. So like now, you know, because it was ignored, I literally cannot
Yeah.
eat peas. And it's not like I want to, regardless, even if
Right.
I, you know, it can be something like something as small as simple as that. And that sounds so complex and it sounds like that doesn't make sense. But, you know, going to therapy about it, I was like, oh yeah, it made sense. It made sense.
Literally, like people find out the reason they are like have emotional detachment issues is because they never got talked to in elementary school.
Yeah, yeah.
they
It can be the
never they
smallest
never like
things.
got like, you know what I mean, so they're not going to associate, and like
Right.
it's just so it's so like it's such like a rabbit hole type thing that you don't even know that you're like going to go down. And like
Yeah.
I personally think it's cool to find out more about yourself,
It's so
and
cool.
it's so cool and it's so healing.
Yeah.
And I'm so sorry you don't like vegetables, and I hate that you taste the earth, but maybe like
I
wash it.
love cilantro though because it tastes like soap.
Sorry, what?
I love cilantro. It tastes like soap. I love it. You know, every now and
So
then
okay.
when I'm at a restaurant, you know, and the dish comes with like cilantro, I always like hide the cilantro like, you know, in the dish too. I tell the waiter or waitress, I'm like, I didn't get any cilantro. Can I get extra? Because look,
Oh my
I eat it
god.
like chips. I eat it like chips because I'm not gonna pay $1.78 extra for some cilantro. So I have to do what I have to do. You know, oh, it's,
So
you
we're
know,
telling
stealing.
people
Arrest me. Arrest me.
so
I
we're
deserve to
telling
be arrested for
people to
cilantro.
lie to the wait staff to
Yes.
get more cilantro.
Yes.
You
Yes.
heard it here
Arrest
first.
me. If a cop is listening, arrest me. You just have to be really hot though if you're gonna arrest.
We have to eat it like chips. So you're just eating like a salad, pretty much.
Yeah, it's vegetables though. Aren't you proud of me now? It tastes like
Oh
soap. I don't
God.
know why. I love it though. I don't like
Okay.
soap, but like I love cilantro. It's like
Okay.
just
Fair enough.
little, you know, but just as long as it's not like
Being very
earthy
vulnerable.
tasting. We are being very vulnerable.
Very vulnerable of you to say.
Very vulnerable. That's right. $1.78 specifically I will not be paying for cilantro. It's
Okay,
all
fair
because of
enough.
this one restaurant. Everywhere else I got it
Oh.
free. But this one restaurant, it's the best restaurant. Will I stop going to it? No, I'm gonna keep going to it. Um,
Okay,
I'm not gonna
wait.
say that
Is
I won't do
this
it again.
restaurant in Texas?
Yes, of course.
Okay, you'll have to text me
It's a
later.
type
I
of
have to know.
ramen bar. It's phenomenal.
Okay. Okay. You have to text me later about
I
this.
will definitely text you later. Everyone
Okay,
has to
great.
try
Yes,
it.
I have to know the cilantro drama.
It's actually a crime if you don't try this specific restaurant, Marley. You have to try it.
Okay, yes, definitely text. Yeah, you have to text.
Definitely. Text for Texas. Um, so lastly, you know, you know, therapy can also be a form of taking time for yourself, you know. Marley,
Yeah.
what does that look like?
Taking time for yourself. No one does that anymore.
I know. It's not like we're
No
not even
one
taught that. We're just
no
taught go,
one
go, 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 go.
even does that crap anymore. So for I'm true.
It's
Like
true.
no one okay, so for me, I have recently discovered that taking time for myself is I love doing skincare. I love
Love it.
washing my face. I just got a gua sha. Like,
We love that.
oh my gosh. And like, I love it when my
Love
face
it.
looks like a glazed donut. And it's
It
like,
does. It's
oh
gleaming. It looks good.
my gosh. And it makes me feel so clean. It makes me feel like such a clean girl. And I'm like, okay,
Bougie.
bougie, yes. And so I love it when I do that. And then, like, when I get a pimple, I'm like, are you kidding me right now? Like, all my hard work is down the drain. But I,
What a mess.
your cilantro got me. Okay, whatever.
What a
So
mess.
no, but I love doing skincare. Also, I love, and I know this is not, I think taking time for myself is cleaning my house. Like I love
Yeah.
it because like I remember I didn't do my typical like Sunday reset on Sunday, and I woke up on Monday and I went to work and all day I only thought about how there was dishes in my sink.
Mhm.
And like I just think like organizing your own space
Yeah.
and making sure everything is clean the way you like it.
Yeah.
I think that's really self-care too. I think personally
Yes,
self-care to
exactly.
me is whatever makes you
You,
feel at
yes.
ease.
Yes.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't
It
look like
genuinely
a
no.
specific thing, right? It
No,
just,
it doesn't.
yeah.
And like,
Right,
yeah, because
right,
your self-care could be like, oh, well, I'm gonna go paint my nails. That doesn't
right.
like benefit your body technically, but still like it makes you feel good.
Yeah,
And
or
like
like a
it's
nice
just I think
bath bomb.
heck yes.
I love bath bombs. Stop it.
Drinking coffee, that's self-care. Oh gosh. A latte, heck yes.
A latte from Starbs.
Oh, Starbucks sugar cookie vanilla almond milk latte or whatever it's called. And
Sponsor
that
us,
one
Starbucks.
spawns
Sponsor
me,
us
please. I
right
have no
now.
points at the moment. Thank you. Don't.
Marley, this was amazing. Such an enlightening, inspiring conversation. And I want to thank you. And I'm sure we will definitely be seeing you again on this
Oh my
podcast.
gosh, I hope so. I've had so much fun. Like you're
Yes.
such a gem.
Oh, thank you. But it's also like, you that, help make the podcast a podcast. You know what I mean? And the listeners listening, like this is our podcast, folks. Um,
Yeah,
throw it on a resume.
I'm so glad that I'm so I'm so honored that I was able to be here because
Yes.
I like talking to people. And so like I might not have seen them all face to face, but
Yeah.
hey,
Exactly. I love
hey,
that.
you're listening.
Yes. And you know what? Speaking of people, let me go ahead and go down the list and mention like all the countries this is heard in, because I want to
Yes,
give a shout
yes,
out to all of the
yes.
countries. Yes, 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 yes. Okay. So I want to thank me and Marley want to thank the U.S.
Thank
Duh.
you, America.
That's where we live.
We do
Um,
live in America.
I want to thank the United Kingdom, Canada, Australia, Sweden, Brazil, Norway, Nigeria, Botswana, France, India, Vietnam, U.S. Virgin Islands, Philippines, Italy, Mexico, Spain, Romania, and the Czech Republic. Thank y'all so much. Thank you. Literally, y'all make me cry. Beautiful tears, because I was so insecure to start this podcast from season one. I was so insecure at first because I hate the sound of my voice. Vulnerability, though I'm a huge advocate for it, I still struggle with it sometimes. There are still some episodes that, I spoke on that I cringe listening to myself or what I talked about. But like,
Mhm.
it's not about me. And I feel like y'all, thank y'all for making this go huge. It showed me that it taught me, not only is this podcast, healing folks all over the world, but it helped me internalize and teach me that it's okay to put yourself out there. It's okay. Someone is going to love. Someone is going to love it. Someone is going to
Like
love you
literally,
for putting
like
yourself out
literally, who
there.
cares? Who cares what
Yeah.
people think? Who cares what
Yeah.
people think?
I care, unfortunately, but I wish I was at the point to where like I don't care. So like what's huge for me in my process is the fact it's like, you know, I wish I didn't care what people think, but since I do, there's also that beautiful side that I can be so vulnerable, and there are still folks out there that are going to love that and love me for that, you know? And so cuz it's been a struggle for me is like will someone love my vulnerable self, because I've been vulnerable before and people have hated it, but there's also been people that love it. So because of everyone around the world, literally till this day I live my life like in a different area of confidence, knowing that I can be myself and I still will be loved somehow, somewhere, some way, you know. So that's what's beautiful. And with that being said, folks, um, before we say goodbye, if there is anyone that you feel like needs to hear this podcast, or if this podcast has truly impacted you, please share it, follow it. Someone needs to hear this. You might save someone's life because you sent this. Stories like Marley's story, there is someone out there that needs to hear it, and you never know if someone, they may seem like they're over it. Go, you know what? Send it. It's not going to hurt to send it. Um, so it's about healing everyone. So, folks, you are a part of that, and I want to encourage and thank y'all for continuing to do that. Um, Also, something really, really cool. Um, if y'all want to go and purchase my poetry book, because it does talk a lot about as well of like these topics from Marley's episode. Marley, Queen Marley. You can go on Amazon. It is called It Is Spoken by Trenton Epizon. Epizon is spelled Epizon. Yes, I am in the process of having my name legally changed to Josias Thorolius Epizon Abril, or Abriel. It can be pronounced either way, which means my Father God is healing this courageous survivor. It's
We love
Greek
a
and
name
Hebrew.
change.
We
We
love a
love a
name
name.
change. Yes. So, Marley, thank you. We all want to thank you for being on this episode, being on this season. You are episode 1. We love
Period.
it. Is there anything that
Period.
you, yes, period, exclamation point, all
Big
of,
slay.
we love it. A queen. Welcome to the queendom. Is there anything that you want to tell our guests and our listeners before we leave our podcast
Um,
for the next episode?
Thank you for listening to me
Yes.
rant. This is my first ever podcast,
And it won't be the last.
and it won't be the last.
It won't be the
But
last.
no, I hope in the midst of all my rambling and stories that it did help someone and
Yes.
it did resonate. And even if it didn't, I hope that my voice made you giggle, because
Yes.
I hope so, because that would make my day to know that
Yes.
somebody laughed. But
Yes.
thank you for having me.
You're so welcome. Thanks for being on. What an honor. And with that being said, folks, if no one has told you today that they love you, please let me be the first. I love you and I life you. You are amazing. Thank you for still being here. You have overcome 100% of your bad days. Why? Because you are still breathing. Hold on just a little bit longer. You're almost there. I promise you that the joy and the happiness, it is coming. This is your sign. Whoever needs to hear this, you're doing great. You are doing great. If the best you can do is just walk out of bed, if that's the best you can do, that's all you need. You're doing amazing. Um, with that being said, this has been another episode of Vulnerability Time, Season 2, Episode 1. I will see y'all next time for Episode 2, where we will be talking about. Let me go ahead and get that. I want to start doing that this season, telling people about the next episode. Oh, we'll be talking about surviving the battle. And let's find out what that means, folks. It gets really, oh yeah, we our guest Tiffany really breaks that statement up into pieces, and it's just amazing. So tune in next episode, y'all. Thank you, Marley. We love you, we life you, and we're grateful for
Aw,
you. Bye, folks. Marley, you stay on though. You stay
okay.
on Zoom. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Just bye, folks. Hey there, if you liked this episode, go ahead and buy my book on Amazon. What the book is called, type it on Amazon. It is Spoken by Trenton Epizon. Epizon is spelled Epizon. I really would appreciate the support. Give it a review, give it a buy, give it a try, and I promise you, you will not be upset at it. It is a poetry book. It is a very easy, quick read, and it definitely will give you some healing and some insight and some wisdom on abuse, mental health, recovery, the tragedy to triumph. You will love it. Give it a buy, give it a try, and recommend the book and this episode with others. Go ahead and give this podcast a follow and share it with others. You could be the reason that someone is alive tomorrow because you decided to share this episode today. This podcast is about saving lives, healing ourselves and others, and encouraging others and ourselves as well. Thank y'all so much for the support. Love y'all. I life y'all. I will see y'all next episode. You are valuable. You are beautiful. You are still on this earth because you have the strength. Thank you. Bye, folks.